Alright, so I made it here. It's 11/16, April 10th, and any moment really should switch over and we'll be getting about 20 inches or so and blizzard with about 55-mile-per-hour gusts. So yeah, I'm at the Samuel McKelvie National Forest. And yeah, it's pretty bad flooding. I'll get some before and after photos, of course, and yeah, and hopefully it'll be pretty good. Unfortunately, my main phone straight talk sucks, and I'm not able to make calls at all. Tried activating it. Fortunately, I have another phone, does have a phone plan, but I'll be able to at least call 911 if anything happens. So, I made it back. It's been about 5 minutes or so, and it is really starting to put it down now. So I barely made it back, really. It's 3:30, and I had to go back to town, try to get my phone activated. Unfortunately, wherever I put it, here it is. There's still really not a whole lot of signal, just enough to make emergency calls. It is really starting to get a little bit more wide out now. I had the storm chasing me from the north as I was coming back here. Surprised it really took so long for it to actually officially start, because I thought maybe even 11 a.m., but it's 3:30 really. It actually started snowing here. And there's a lot of freezing rain now. I have a decent area picked out. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, other than that, we're officially trapped here now. These roads are already getting a nice little layer on them, and it'll probably be about 3 days at least. So yeah, guess let's get to it, see if we can set up a tarp or if we're gonna be camping in this car. Other than that, see you on the other side. Okay, tarp shelter needs some work, but I think that'll do for now at least, so I can eat. Okay, because it's already 7. Oh man, but yep, having some chili, and then work on the tarp a little bit and probably set up a fire, make sure to dry up this. I've had to walk through a little bit of water. This is frozen. So yeah, for the now we'll just use the stove, because I really don't feel like making some makeshift way to cook food and all. Other than that, I really don't know how much snow we have. I'm guessing like 4 inches. Snowed in a pretty good bit. It's not thundering anymore, unfortunately. Hate that. I kind of miss that part of it, really. I don't know if it'll do it again. It might have been it really, but it was pretty awesome though. It was pretty good thundering. I'm talking about every 30 seconds, sometimes reasonably loud. And yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. Starting to look pretty beautiful though. Alright, let's get some food. Could not find my my utensils. Surely I brought them. I don't know. So I just make this makeshift pine thing. Anyway, I'm running out of time. I have been up since 4 in the morning. The drive here is about 5.5 hours or so, but of course I spent a lot more time just fucking around driving. But I don't think I'll really have this tarp shelter set up for the night to sleep in. Still just not enough windproof. You see, I set this up here actually. Seems to be doing okay. Other than that, still some wind to blow in. So yeah, I think I'll just camp in the car tonight. Hopefully get more set up. Got some good firewood, and it's covered. There's some right beside me covered. About just this main tarp here, at least partially. But yeah, I think definitely I would still just be getting too much wind, and actually probably be getting just a little bit of snow on me while I try to sleep, which is just not a good thing. And I still have a lot of work to do. I want to set up a bed using a lot of these because there's not a lot of good wood to use. Alright, let's get warm. Let's see, these are getting snow in it. Yeah, and I'd like to set up that other tarp too, and just have more room, of course, for just firewood, more bags and everything. Of course, I was probably going to keep some of my bags here just to support, because this is... Oh, this is already making a little mound behind me, which is good. I kind of wanted something like that to help block with the wind, but not a whole lot's coming from that side. But definitely tomorrow, after that foot of snow has laid right around there, I think that'll create a pretty good shelter really from just wind and everything, and kind of go with the tarp. 7:36, got an hour or so left of daylight. Looks like we got some decent amount of whiteout going over there. Nothing really too severe. So far for the wind, I'll have to say that this area is probably really amazing for one main reason. Tons of trees. It is 9:20 in the morning. Oh, we got about a foot of snow probably at least. Snowplow person actually, he came by, cleared a little bit of the area for me. But of course, it's probably going to be another 6 inches or so at least. Camera batteries are about to die, but I can charge them in the car, so it should be pretty decent at least. Other than that, this tarp shelter, of course, did not hold up, unsurprisingly. It would have probably been doable, I guess. I mean, definitely better than nothing. It's a small area. I got it on the GoPro, but last night read some about doing knots and everything, and hopefully that'll help a lot, because whatever knot I was doing was time consuming and really not that great, but kind of worked. But yeah, other than that, I guess today I'll be just trying to make this a little bit more sturdy. I mean, it should calm down by Thursday night. I guess it kind of sucks that I really didn't officially camp in the peak of the blizzard, because for the most part it'll probably be light snow tonight. It'll continue like this for a little while. Wind seems to have picked up a little bit, but I guess nothing too insane for this area especially. Nice and cozy, just a light breeze kind of with some gusts here and there. Yeah, decent sleep last night in the car. Actually had to use both of the sleeping bags, still got a little chilly up in there. Yeah, still definitely need to eat. Some peanuts at least here for now. Somewhere. These. I don't even know where I put them. Alright. Oh. Definitely need to try to get a fire going probably sort of soon. It'd be nice to have a nice little warm meal, maybe some tea. Oh man. But I had a little snow duster. Definitely gone by now, but this is right over there near that little frozen lake area, or slushy lake more like. Not reasonably warm. It's probably like 25 degrees right now. Nothing too crazy. Coldest it'll probably get Friday night, but it shouldn't be snowing by that point. Should be about 15 degrees with a light wind. But fortunately, with this setup, if I get this tarp set up now, but I have the snow in the back, a bunch of snow around, that'll help shield a lot of the wind and actually snow blowing in. That's definitely what I wanted to have before, but so if we can get this a little bit more sturdy, should be a pretty good setup actually. That's my little path there. Definitely getting covered. Alright. Guess let's get a little bit and get to it. There we go. Ooh, gotta get this thing off. Can't really see with it on. Okay. A little bit of the update here. Whew. It is 2:25. Haven't really messed with this tarp at all. Done one night. Done good, but just haven't messed with knots a whole lot, so definitely not experiencing that at all. So don't know if I'll really be able to do the whole tarp thing, because I am exhausted and it's only 2:25. And other problem, I knew this was going to be a problem, but making water, you can make water out of this thing, but that is time consuming. Just going back and forth, getting a little bit of snow, because this entire thing completely full of snow, it only makes a few fluid ounces of water. And but made some water, and this is kind of what I got going on here. Oh, looks like it's about done. Done okay. Used what I could. Just warming up my gloves there some. But overall, don't think this will really work. There's still a lot of snow blowing in. And the main problem is that the wind was coming from the northeast yesterday, or northeast. Now it's a little bit from the northwest, and I think with some of this open area, it's bringing a little bit of circulation and just bringing it back in here. So if there's a good gust, it'll bring a little bit of snow in here. Other than that, got some little kimchi noodles. Got a little orange pack, and I'm gonna make some tea, probably some English breakfast tea, and I don't know from there. Oh, we'll see. Probably just I'll probably be spending time just making water, really. That's gonna be the time-consuming part. definitely next time I'm going to be bringing like a large container to be cooking that. Looks like that water is done. So, yeah. Let's eat and drink some tea and see where we're at from there. The weather, of course, still blizzard. Doesn't seem like it'll be calming down anytime soon quite yet. Wind and gusts have definitely hit their peak, or a little bit of their peak earlier too. It kind of started, and yeah, at least a foot. Haven't really done a proper measurement. It is excellent. Really hungry. I didn't really. Yeah, I don't know. I fucked with that fire probably for about an hour, trying to get it going, because I wanted to use minimal amount of newspaper, fire accelerant, everything really, just to save it, I guess. And I don't know, really just didn't have a whole lot of luck using like the bottom of the pine trees and all of that the extra sap is supposed to help, but I don't know. Finally really got it going after gathering a little bit of just some grass that was just sticking up from the snow. Yeah, and keeping this fire going would be a huge problem because there's really no logs that are just large enough. I couldn't really find a whole lot, and I don't want to do a whole lot of damage to the actual trees here. Of course, you can tell that they've been damaged a little bit from the flooding, especially the ones that are closer. They're just practically widowmakers, I guess. Because they're pretty much drowning over there. Because this fire, I mean, I've just been sitting here for like 10 minutes and it's nearly dead. I mean, there's some larger logs I have, but other than that, I mean, it's actually surprisingly warm right here. I have a thermostat in the car, so I was actually pretty surprised by how warm it was in the car. Of course, last night it got down to about 26 or so, but because still just the sun's coming through the windows, it's actually about 55 degrees in there. That's insane. Other than that, other news, not long ago, I guess still like an hour or two ago, the snowplow guy, he actually came back through and even made a decent little path for me. I just got to dig myself out. I'm good to go. The roads, he salted the hell out of them. They're great looking. Even though there's like blowing snow and it's just still putting it down, it's not putting it down on the roads at all. So I could pretty much leave now. Of course, I would definitely stay, but I think I'll be car camping again. It's not bad for the first time trying the tarp setup and everything, and not knowing a whole lot of knots and everything, but yeah. It's pretty awesome though. Beautiful. I have to wear my sunglasses because it's still a little too bright for me with all that reflecting off of the snow now. It's nice though, at least that the fire's not blowing in this direction. Of course, Friday night the problem is, I think it would start blowing in this direction. The winds will change, start coming from the south, and in that direction, the south. So yeah, I don't know. At least it won't be snowing, and maybe I can just do a basic tarp setup again and everything, because there's really not going to be a whole lot of wind. Well, I guess that's it for the news. Probably take out the GoPro after a little bit, go towards the car, kind of show the road and just actually how clear it is. Maybe explore around a little bit, because I haven't really left the campsite. I've been going back and forth from the car a couple times just to get everything, get some food. That was stupid. I think I put some fish somewhere around here. It's gone. Yeah. Just messing with the snow and then ended up getting buried. So I was gonna have that for dinner, but I guess the snow's gonna have that instead. Oh well. Guess I'll find something else to eat then. And not a big deal. The tarp's doing pretty good. I tied it on all the edges. I could try doing something to add like a little support beam up at the top. Oh man. Hands need lotion pretty badly, really. Getting hungry again. I was going to make that fish, but guess not. Got a decent amount of water that I made. I had some water from this container, but this container is at least halfway full now. And that is from the snow water. Oh, tell you what I can get though. In the meantime, always gotta bring some soda. Some squirt. I eat some applesauce and I'm really not sure what to eat for dinner exactly. Temporary cup. Works out pretty nicely, really. Oh man. I still don't have any phone signal, of course. I think the weather is definitely affecting that. Because before it really started, that phone at least, I'm pretty sure it had signal. I don't know though. You can still make emergency calls at least, despite having no signal. It's 0 bars, but it says emergency calls only. Not sure if that would really work or not. But, at least I can kind of get out. Definitely need to probably dig myself out sometime, just in case of an emergency, because that would be nice. Because if I can't call it, that would really suck. Do something stupid and cut my hand or whatever. Here's the fire. And smoke coming my way. Still windy. Alright, it's calmed down a bit. It is 6:22 Thursday, April 11th. Well, I wonder if we're gonna get any more. Yeah, I figured it'd keep going maybe until Friday morning, but seems pretty quiet. Might have about 16 inches or so. Kind of hard to tell, really, especially with some of the snow drifts. Well, alrighty. Beautiful. Let's see, parked over there. Alrighty. It is time to eat some food. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Some canned spaghetti and meatballs. It is 7-Eleven. Oh, definitely tell that the wind's just slowly just shifting over more to the west and eventually to the south. Yeah, hate to be lame, but I don't think I'll be camping in the tarp. And some gusts are just bringing more and more of just the smoke right in here into this tarp area. But I'm glad I at least got to spend all the time out here and just hang out. Just couldn't really sleep in it. Oh, I had some spaghetti and meatballs. Now I'm just melting some snow to clean it up because it makes a mess. That's the thing about winter camping and stuff. Those is just always runny. Especially whenever the smoke's coming towards you, makes your eyes burn, and even more runny nose. No. Actually looks like it. Either it just started back or I just didn't notice it, but it looks like it's still snowing. Anyway, I guess that's the update for now. Well, the blizzard is back and it is snowing onto my stuff. Oh man. Getting some low visibility again. A little bit of whiteout going on. So I don't know, it's just it's bringing it more and more. Might even get a little bit more intense than that. I don't know if it's going at this rate. We'll definitely get a few more inches. Alrighty. Well, I was gonna try to dig myself out and at least call home to let my family know that I'm okay and everything. But might have to wait till Friday. Wow, yeah, it's really bringing it down now. Jeez, better get under the tarp for a moment. Oh, yeah, it's definitely some white out over there. Don't want to be driving in that. Well, just finished cleaning that up. Just gotta wash my hands. Oh man, everything's getting covered. Oh. Alrighty. It's 9:20 in the morning. Kind of a slow start, waking up and everything. I wake up pretty late. Looks like some pretty strong winds from the west now. Actually didn't really get too covered here. I don't think it snowed a whole lot last night. It actually probably would have held up pretty decently. But yeah, the roads aren't looking too great right now. Now that it's a little bit colder and the sun hasn't really had a chance to melt the roads. Looks like the that whatever flooded little pond area is getting frozen over now. The little flooded creek area that I crossed is completely frozen, so it was easy to cross. Putting it down now. I'm not sure really when it's going to stop. Last time I checked, which was like 2-3 days ago really, the weather was going to be about 32 degrees for the high today, and snow stops around noon. We'll see if that's the case, of course. Seems to have calmed down just a little bit. Take a look at that frozen pond. Alright, got some water boiling. I made some tea, need some applesauce, and probably make some oatmeal. By the time I have some breakfast foods, it's 10:50. I'm some exploring around. Absolutely beautiful through there. Trees are just covered, and some of the areas, snow's going up to my knees. Oh, no smoke. Get away. Come on, boil. Over it just a tad bit. Yeah, not too hard up there. Got a little bit of snow falling down. It's 2:05. Try to get the fire going again. Had to go about 20 miles away or so to get phone signal. Definitely seems like the snow's probably affecting it, or the towers are covered. Not really sure, but definitely seems worse. But it's potentially going to be up to about 35 degrees today, so I'm really hoping it's not going to switch over into freezing rain or rain, because that would be annoying. Other than that, I don't think it's going to be but 20 degrees tonight, so reasonably warm. And see if we can figure something out. I think primarily the wind's actually going to be coming from the west, which is just that direction. And don't know if it's really going to switch over to the south. See what we can do about this tarp, maybe figure something out, because I'd like to try sleeping here tonight. Be able to actually stretch my legs out. That'd be pretty nice. Oh, well, I'm drying off my shoes and everything, and the liners, socks, and whatnot. Thought I'd take the time, since I'm, for the most part, just not able to move around, to say a few things that I wish I had, or a couple things that I'm kind of missing, or just, I guess, be better off having or upgrading. Number one, I guess, would be some decent work gloves that are at least somewhat water resistant. I have multiple pairs of just decent little gloves here, but they get soaked pretty quickly. But I have multiple pairs, and I can dry them off relatively easily, and they're not bad or anything. And I guess really the main thing that I definitely would like to have, a large one that I can actually tie and melt snow. Because not only does this, this is time consuming, can't really get a whole lot. I tend to get a little bit of ash in here whenever I try to cover it. Probably okay having a little bit of ash, but still kind of annoying whenever you might be getting ash in your tea or your noodles. So right here in this ramen, I can see it, there's ash in there. Another pair of maybe some hiking boots at least. I mean, they don't even have to be for winter. Just something to temporarily use, so whenever I would do something like this, because this is something I definitely would have needed to do really yesterday. Heat source where I can, random snow just falling on me. And of course, another major item really is a tarp. I mean, these tarps aren't gonna, you know, aren't gonna do bad or anything, but you can definitely tell that they're being slightly ripped from how tight I put it, and it's still, I can make that tighter. So if I'm dealing with like snow, heavy winds, definitely would want a good tarp, not just some Walmart tarp. It has to be purely for camping, and definitely want to bring more paracord, maybe even some actual rope and everything. Because I did run out really, tying it all around, and so if I wanted to put up the other tarp, I mean that's all I really have is bungee cords. It's actually extremely sunny, by the way. I thought it was going to be mostly cloudy today, but I would have to say it's mostly sunny. Beautiful day, really. Again, another item I definitely need is a way to be able to clean everything, utensils, whatnot. And it's just, you know, it's getting dirty. I mean, all I have really is just some hot water in my hand, and yeah, it seems to do the trick for the most part. But it would be nice to have a sponge and even some sort of soap to actually really clean it. Make it just a lot easier and better and more hygienic. Snow falling. Oh. All right. Oh, water is ready. That's right, when I start that. Making more tea. Well, it's almost spend the night out here. I think it'll be a pretty good setup. I have a bunch of logs ready, or not a bunch, but 3. I'm gonna try the Siberian log fire. A little bit overkill, but it's something I've been wanting to try for a while now. And yeah, we'll take a look at them here in a second. I'm gonna try to figure something out for the bed, because I don't have any sleeping pads or anything like that. Really, the only thing I have is like an air mattress, or not really an air mattress, but inflatable little sleeping mat. And that's really not that great for actual winter camping. So, some sugar here. Alright. So the plan then, to get off of the ground, it's not like a whole lot of sticks I could use that are good and flat and everything. But what I'm going to try to do, that was called? Oh, man. Melting from the trees. The one thing is, I don't want to get this thing soaking. I'll switch it out if I have to, I guess. Try to dry it off, because I like to wear it while I go to sleep and all. But anyway, oh, we'll go to that in a second. Let me go ahead and put this tea in. Well, batteries are getting low. I have to charge that here later. But the plan is just to use some of these pine branches. I'm going to lay that down in this corner here. I don't think the smoke will be too bad, and also have a little air hole where that shovel's laying is pretty much where my head will be in, where I'll be laying across. We have our Siberian log fire set up. Oh, getting smoked out right there. But back to fire up just a little bit. For the most part, the smoke's just going kind of that general direction. have a little air hole, and of course my own little breathing hole. We'll check that out in a second, but yeah, should do pretty good. Some of this smaller wood's just struggling to burn. Everything's just completely soaked. So, for the smaller area here, what I've set up is just an emergency blanket on top here. I've got a tarp. Inside the tarp, I have my little inflatable air sleeping pad there, and under that, all of this. And I've gorilla taped that there to make sure this doesn't slide around too much or escape. I'm going to gorilla tape it more on the sides here. But yeah, I think this will actually do pretty good. At least I'm hoping so. That'll keep me off the ground. Oh, laying about right here. And there's the fire. Pretty good distance away, but hoping it'll still generate a little bit of heat. Alright, it is 8 o'clock. The sun is starting to set. And yeah, probably for dinner tonight, I'll eat this. I've had that thing for about, I got it a few years ago. Expiration date on it, let's see, 2027. Man, them things last a while. Not bad, it's like 15 years. Clear skies. Really didn't expect that. Because the last time I checked the weather, really, it was just going to be cloudy the entire day. Look, you can even see the moon up there. Oh man. Temperature's starting to drop just a little bit, but it should only be about 20 degrees tonight. Inside though, the snow is just slowly melting already. And now it's hard to tell how much really we got. Some areas it looks like a foot, some areas, maybe 16 to 18 inches. But, and of course some areas, especially back here, it could only be 10 inches. That's melted a little bit. Yeah, I was really hoping for like 20 inches or even 2 feet. That would have been nice, but I'll take what I can get. Hopefully eventually I'll get more snow. The fire died. I'll explain later why that happened. Reasonably chilly. It's 1 a.m. Thinking I'll probably have to head back to the car. Just don't think I insulated enough off the ground, and strong winds just kind of coming directly into my shelter. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Despite having 2 pretty much winter sleeping bags, I'm still pretty chilly. And so, about morning time, I'd just be a little too cold because the temperature's just going to drop even more. Right now, the thermostat's saying about 24 degrees or so. Anyway, hardest part's still packing up, or getting my shoes on and getting the sleeping bags and going to the car. Just slightly too cold, I guess, really, but yeah. Man. Alright. Well, there's the fire. Non-existent. So it's 10 a.m. Got a late start. I didn't wake up until 9:45. So 3 main issues, I suppose. Number 1, really, I'm guessing this just wasn't really enough to insulate from the ground. I could still feel a little bit of the cold. Number 2, my sleeping bags. Although they were pretty good winter, and I'm using 2 of them, I can't zip them up at all, and they're actually gorilla taped about 4/5 of the way up, and I just kind of get in from the top. But because of that, still a little bit of my body heat can escape, and if there's some strong winds or something, then probably enough for some to get in. And lastly, the fire. So the fire ended up dying around 1 a.m. or so. And the main problem really is that these logs are just completely soaked on the inside. The flooding and rain here is just, this has really been especially hard just to make a normal fire to begin with. And yeah, I probably would have been better off trying to find like a standing log that was just dead or something and trying to use that instead. I mean, other than that, I think it would have done great. It really didn't catch fire, especially this log. If you really take a closer look, it burned a little bit, but they just really never actually caught on fire that much. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it was just a little too chilly. It's unfortunate that I couldn't sleep through it really.